Virtual Sewing Room. I've come on here with a little vlog for the Christmas period, so I'm going to chat about 2024, 2025 and maybe a few festive bits in between. But hopefully some of you might watch this whilst you're sewing away some projects last minute, or just some company for you during what can be quiet time. Virtual Sewing Room, we've been going now more than a year, so we've had a full year. We celebrated our birthday in April, so that was April 18th, and we celebrated it a few days later during a different session, a dedicated birthday party, which was wonderful. It's definitely one of my highlights of the year, and I have the card which people sent me. A few of the community got together a little voucher. I don't think I've sewn any. I think I've sewn one thing up with the voucher that you got me for Minerva Crafts, but my card with lots of happy smiley faces, so that sits above my desk normally, so yellow like my room, so it brings me happiness that we celebrated first birthday. So I'm feeling a little bit teary because thinking about this whole year, it's just and yeah, things. So one of the other significant things was not long after our birthday I stepped back from my job. Stress, mental health, it just wasn't working for me, which is really sad because for the most part I enjoyed it. The people I worked with were so supportive. So in July I left that, which meant I could give a bit of extra time into the Virtual Sewing Room, and during my resignation period, the idea of taking the Virtual Sewing Room forward into a full business, a little business, meant it was possible. So it's been a slow, steady start. A lot of people have been asking me about how it's going, and to be honest, it's quite hard to tell. It's such a unique, small business. Like, we've got going, we're treading water lightly. I'm going to fully analyse things around the new year, early New Year's, because then it'll be 3 full months that we've had being set up as a business. It's hard to just analyse the first month because of the subscription packages. There's a number of people who have the annual subscription, so it will make October look really great financially, but you know, that's a one-off payment. Those people aren't paying much else throughout the rest of the year, so October will look great. So I need to compare to November, how things were ticking over, and December. Again, December's another funny month because we had the Christmas party, as well as a couple of other bits going on. So, you know, every month's slightly different, but so far so good. It's been really lovely just hearing the kind of support from my hosts in our little group chat that we have, but also the attendees as well. Through December, we've had, I think, at least one new person each week, which has been really nice. So welcome, well done for finding us. So happy to have you here. If you don't come back because it's not for you, not offended. I know it's not for everyone. But most important thing, because I am a stats girl, I love my statistics. It just can't stop me. So, and I know there's a few stats fans out there as well. This will be going up on Instagram, but I thought let's share it in a video first, and then I'll pop it on a bit later at the end of the year. So 2024, what a year. So we gained 2 extra hosts this year. So we had Mandy and B join, myself, Dee and Lucy. So we now have 5 hosts. So I do the bulk of the hosting, and then they chip in as and when they can. And they're also there to support if any of us are ill. We know that we've got someone who can take on a session, or if someone's feeling a bit ropey, we know that there's someone else in attendance. Yeah, and that's actually been so nice to have that little support as a solo business owner, being self-employed, to have that support and to ping ideas off them. It's just so valuable. And we meet every couple of months, so we're going to meet up again in January once the craziness of December is past. So having those 4 extra wonderful people, big thank you to Lucy, Dee, B and Mandy. Thank you. And as well as that, so number of sessions for 2024. We did 88 regular sessions, which was 203 hours. And then on top of that, we had 18 unique themed sessions. So our sew-alongs, our Making for Charity. We had 4 Making for Charity sessions. That doesn't include when we did our sanitary pads back in May. So we partnered with Pachamama Project, and we had people who volunteer for them already, people who wanted to know more about it from the virtual sewing room attendees, and that was an amazing session actually. It was really nice. We had so much from their side, and then they were asking questions about people's sewing skills, because that's all some of them make, their volunteers, is just sanitary pads, but ask them to make a shirt and they'd have no idea. So it was a really nice session where, yeah, it was just a lot of exchanging. So another wonderful session of just, yeah, connecting. So yeah, we had 18 themed sessions, including the 4 Making for Charity. So they're regular monthly sessions now, which started in September. And we've had 76 hours of unique themed sessions, our pants sew-along, our pyjama party, our Christmas parties. And there'll definitely be more of them in the future. So overall, 106 sessions, 279 hours. That's the hours that myself and hosts put in just to enable a safe, friendly space for you to come and sew, knit, unpick, plan, faff, just time to yourself, dedicated to being in your creative space, whatever that looks like. So, yeah. And out of all of that, we've only ever had to cancel 1 session, and it actually was a Christmas party for the virtual sewing room professional network. Just the date didn't work out in the end, with a number of attendees, so actually that only affected a small amount of people. So we launched the professional network in October, and I say it's an idea I'd had for a while. I'm now in the textile craft world as a business, but I don't know anyone directly that has a business. That, like, I just want to talk to other people and just rant and ask. And I did ask a couple of people, like, does this space exist? And no one, networking in a professional capacity can be awkward, very just not casual. It doesn't have that vibe of virtual sewing room. We're relaxed, just it's normally quite formal. That's the word I'm looking for. So I just wanted something that's just textile craft. So whether it's knitting, workshops, whatever, however you're supplying people to enable them to sew and knit and everything. A space to network with others. It's been so just wonderful to connect with others and just have a good chat about things, and talking about how to best use Facebook, supporting wonderful Judith at Socrete, getting her business off the ground as well. That's been really nice, just kind of cheerleading her on. A space to moan about the changes in legislation with trading into the EU with products as well. It's been nice to hear that conversation and about other people in the space of whatever you're selling. So the virtual sewing room network has been a really nice little added bonus. It's still finding its feet. It's why the rate is so cheap. So if you are in the professional world of textile craft, whatever that is, you're welcome to join now. So it's £3 a month to join a virtual session. There's a Facebook group that's closed down, so it's just for us, just to talk, whatever, ask questions, support each other, and also supporting Sarah with the launch of her new online workshops as well, which has been exciting and I'm going to be involved in, but I'll tell you that for 2025, things to come forward. So we've got 8 people currently in there. And it's been a nice space. And obviously the biggest thing of 2024, we became a business. I hadn't planned to, but the amount of hours putting in, I needed something back to develop this further, because there was so many ideas and so many paths that virtual sewing room can take and will take, hopefully. It's been a wonderful space, and swells my heart when people really appreciate having somewhere, somehow, to connect to other like-minded people, to be able to ask questions, just to connect, even if it's just listening in. So I'm so glad being able to take that step to dedicate more time to you. And we've had a worldwide reach. I mean, we already had this at this time last year, at the end of 2023, but we do have regulars across Europe. So we've got Sweden, we've got Crete, we've got Germany, all across the UK, less in Wales at the moment, and Ireland and Northern Ireland, mostly kind of England and dabbling into Scotland. But we have our American regulars, not so much recently, but hope to see back. We've got regulars in Asia, Africa, and Australia. When the time works out for people, it's always nice to see you. So wherever you are. And that's another thing that I've started doing. So thanks to Lindsay from So Busty, who pointed it out in a really nice polite message saying, can you include other time zones? So if you've seen that popping up more often, that was feedback which really took on. Like, it must be so frustrating to see opportunities but not knowing, oh, does that work for me and my lifestyle? So we've got the time zone converter on the Instagram grid. So if you're not based in the UK and you see timings, there is a standard post based on a few different popular time zones. So we've got East and West Coast of America, East and West Coast of Australia, and also Eastern Europe. So those time zones are on there, and there's a post, and I've translated the times of our popular sessions into what time that would be for you. So do take a look on Instagram, and you can save it on the bottom right. There's a little tab, and you can just save it so it's easy to find in your collections on Instagram for you, or take a screenshot, save it to your favourites so it's always quick. And it is on the website as well under dates. Oh, she needs updating. Oh, my days. So yeah, so thank you for Lindsay. Feedback is always welcome. There's a link on the website, and through Instagram you can find a link to general feedback, which is anonymous, but always feel free to email me, DM me, if you're not embarrassed about what you've got to say. I take it, it's fine. I'm always I want to grow it for the people, not just for me. So yeah, on to 2025 and what's ahead. I've not actually sat down and planned this, which feels quite bad as we're coming to the end of December very, very quickly. So we have regular sessions on the website which are bookable up to the end of March. My head is in a funny space because I'm going to Australia for 3 weeks. I mentioned it on the newsletter recently. So evening sessions will continue during that time, covered by our lovely hosts. Daytime sessions will stop, but you still have the opportunity to join 4 in February and 4 in March. I've just shifted the dates to when I am in the UK and able to host. 3 weeks in Australia I am clicking off. I'll be keeping an eye on social media, but yeah, it's going to be one of my holidays for the year, just to stop. But I'll still be around and contactable, so don't worry, but things might be a bit messy at the time trying to contact me. So we've got the regular sessions. There are some unique sessions coming up. Only one is currently live to book, and that is our virtual sewing room day. Very excited about this. We did a virtual sewing room day back in December 23. 3 3-hour-long sessions across a Saturday, and you could join in and so do whatever, just a long period to join in a conversation with others or listen in. This time we have guests, so I asked if you wanted a guest, who might you want to see? You came back with loads of different ideas, but there were a few key themes that came through: sustainability, costume making, and bra making. That was a real big one. So we have Emma from Studio 77, who's going to be talking about her background with costume making in films and TV, which is super exciting. Looking forward to that. So she'll be kicking off at 9 AM UK time, so that's going to be at the start of the session. Those bits will be recorded, and anyone that signs up will have access to the recording. The second session will be Zoe. You might know her from this little podcast called Check Your Threads. Sustainability and mending, lots of things around that subject came up. So we were going to chat to Zoe about sustainability, little things you can do, It's a big topic, sustainability. It's a big word that, it's a buzzword. So I'm excited about that. It's certainly something I've thought about a lot in the last few years of sewing, and yeah, so that, can't wait. And then finally, bra making, we have Lindsay from So Busty. She's created a community around those who are full busted. And she's got really great resources on her website. So if you don't know any of them, go check them out. I'll pop links down below. So yeah, it's £12.50 a ticket. But if you want to attend all 3 sessions or purchase all 3 and catch up later with their chats, you can use code TRIO VSR Day to get the sessions with 20% off. So it'll be £30 for 3 rather than £37.50. Quick maths there. So yes, space is there. Do book on. You can also submit questions in advance, so I'm going to prep some stuff for them. So feel free. There's a link in bio. If you sign up, there'll be a link in your confirmation email as well, or just get in touch if you can't find the link. It's just a Google form. You can say who you want to ask a question to, whether you want to ask it. And when I say the session's being recorded, it's just the interview when we've got our lovely guests in. The main chat outside of that, so the other 2 hours, that won't be recorded. That is for you to chat about anything and everything. What is said in Virtual Sewing Room stays in Virtual Sewing Room. Personal stuff doesn't go out on social media without permission. And then 2 others which are in the diary but not yet up on the website. February, we're going to be doing underwear. We did pants last February, which is our 2nd ever sew along. So we're just going to expand it to underwear. So whether you want to do pants, bras, anything else that you consider underwear, you'll be able to join along that one. That's early in February, so before I'm away. And then in March, we're going to have mending. I know there's a hashtag which I've forgotten. I'll pop it below. But Bee's offered to host a mending session on a Saturday. So yeah, look forward to that. And there'll also be Saturday sessions available through February and March. I can't remember the dates, but I think it's when I'm off, and Bee has offered to do those. Thank you, Bee. Not confirmed and in the diary yet for our other unique themed sessions. Blouse, we might be doing that in April to go along with the hashtag if that's going again, because there's lots of hashtag challenges. So we like to try and tie in with things going on in the world. There'll be a jumpsuit dungarees one. We've said it 1,000 times. We'll try and get that in the diary. There's going to be a prompt in July for prompting you into planning your Christmas makes. It feels stupidly early, but based on how a lot of sewers feel right now on the 23rd of December, I had to remember the date, some of you might need some planning and prompting in July just to get going. So we might do something around then. Sorry to talk about Christmas when it's going to be sweltering. So some other notable things outside the sessions. We're having a meetup, an in-person meetup along with Surrey Sews. So we've got a number of attendees from that group and very friendly with them. So we're at Stash Hub. There's Eleanor and Mel, and Bee's been involved in the planning. They're planning a trip to Walthamstow in London. So Virtual Sewing Roomers, if you want to come and join in, having a shop, a nosy, cup of coffee, want to meet some people in person, we'll be there on February the 1st. I think we've said 10:30, but have a look out on social medias for more. If you're in the Surrey Sews area, so I'm based in Hampshire, but I've managed to get to one event, but I'm planning to get to maybe a couple more next year, including Walthamstow. Check out, they've just posted there's going to be some kind of social each month for 2025, so I'll pop a link so you can see those. So that's very good news if you're based that way or nearby. And the other exciting thing, you might see there's been an extra couple of videos recently. I'm going to be starting a vlog series called Virtual Sewing Room in Conversation With. I'm going to be chatting to participants and people within the sewing world, getting to know them a bit better. I know that the vlog world is very much infiltrated with loads of people at the moment, but I feel like there's not quite. I know there's Stash Hub has her stash chats, but this is more. If anyone knows Adam Buxton podcast, where they can ramble on about anything, he could be talking to the king, but not talk anything about the monarch, but talk about gardening and anything else stuff. maybe a bad example. So I've already recorded a few. The first few are going to be with my virtual sewing room hosts. So I've recorded 3 so far, and they've been all very different, but all very lovely. So you can get to know them a bit better. Some very random questions, a little quick fire round, and all whilst hand mending or hand sewing and just doing other little jobs. So it's a really casual kind of conversation. So look out for that in January. I've got to finish some editing, so that's quite exciting. They're probably quite long, but hopefully keep you company whilst you're sewing in between our sessions. So I think that's about it. I've been chatting for a while, and this will probably be edited down to 20 minutes or 25 minutes. Some personal stuff for next year. We might be moving house, so I've got to attempt to tidy all of this lot up into boxes, let alone what's in all the corners. So we might be moving house, which should be interesting. We talked about it the last few days. So yeah, and I might have to look into getting another job to supplement me doing virtual sewing room. But that was always kind of on the cards 2025. I've been very blessed to be able to step back from employed work to be able to do this. I know not everyone can. I know there's a lot of people who have to work full-time job as well as doing their own little business and vlogs and all sorts. So very blessed for the last 6 months just to have some me time, some moss time. So it's been quite wonderful. So not done as much sewing as I thought, but that's okay. That's okay. Also another highlight. So I've got this up. This was our I asked people we had our in-person table at the Threads Festival in Farnham Maltings. That should have been a highlight. So many things. So a number of people sent in panels. I did a request for creative pieces. That's just the front pieces I did, but there are still sewn on the side all the other pieces that people did. I'll put a link to the Instagram post about it, so thank you if you did that. And another thing popped in my head, our card exchange that we've just done through Christmas. We've still got a couple of bits out in the postal system, but it's been really nice to see the cards popping up for the exchange that we did amongst those who signed up. So there's 24 of us. So thank you if you've taken part, for attending, for following, for sharing. Final request, if you can just share a post, like a post, if you save a post, any interactions with a post on Instagram helps kind of bump it through the system, so more people see it, more people hear about it. If you have any feedback about sessions, feel free to send it to me. Always love a nice quote. I'll be doing another kind of like quote on the grid just to showcase how the virtual sewing room kind of benefits you. Yeah, I'm going to sign off now. I need to go and edit this, finish my tea, which is probably gone cold now, and maybe crack on with some sewing. So whatever you're doing during the festive break, have a nice time. My DMs are open if you need to chat, and look out for sessions. We've got 2 between Christmas and New Year that you can sign on to, and plenty, 11 through January. So take care. See you in 2025.